open the meeting of July 2024 for the Hadley Public Schools.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you, everyone. In light of the fact that there's airplane disruptions in the Midwest that Annie is struggling with. I think she's grounded in South Dakota with 20 other family members. Paul called away on a business trip and wasn't planning to attend, but may have delays that allow him to attend the first.
He's here, actually, Humor. He's making me jealous. He's in an airplane seat, something I would really like right now. He's got
Able to see him. I don't see him on the list.
he's in a square.
Oh, you are. There you are. Okay, great. Hi, Paul. Terrific. And I'm in New York, called away on emergency family medical related things, but all is recovering and doing better. But in light of all of that, I propose an abbreviated agenda so that we can move through the items that really need our attention and that which isn't as urgent that we can wait for a time that we can have more thoughtful discussion. Does that sound okay to everyone?
Sure.
Yeah.
Terrific. Okay, excellent. We are going to start with public comment. If anyone, a member of the public, and by the way, Annie, are we recording this?
I believe
Alex, got it?
Alex is here and doing that. I can also record, but I see Hadley Media.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Alex. If there's a member of public that wants to make a comment, please raise your digital hand and we will unmute you. You have 3 minutes to make a comment pertinent to something on the agenda. And if you are interested, raise your digital hand. Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed with the agenda items. Annie, any adjustments in light of our abbreviated agenda? Would you like to sort of give us a highlight of what's to come?
Sure. So we will be voting on 5C, 5E, 5F. I'll give an abbreviated review of the remaining items. The remaining items, we really can then at a future meeting discuss in more detail and deliberate. So we will hold off on reorganizing the school committee until our next meeting. For the 10-year capital plan, as you know, it's linked in there. Our items are due, our capital requests are due to the town for special town meeting for that warrant by August 6th. The capital plan that is linked to the agenda has not changed significantly since your last review. Some high-level changes. We moved row 42, which refers to ceiling tiles, into fiscal year 27. This we did discuss in the past, and that was because we did not necessarily want to be doing things with ceilings until we were clear on the direction we were going to go with HVAC. You okay? We also added HES carpet replacement for classrooms. And we extended tech purchases over 3 years and are requesting fewer Chromebooks. If anything, the adjustments that we've made would reduce the amount of the town capital request from the previous 10-year capital plan that they have had for a while. Chris and I will do final touches on that. We will submit in accordance with the town's deadline. We will make sure the school committee sees all of that, and there still will be ample time if there's something that you don't want on that STM, the special town meeting warrant. There would be time to tell the town, on second thought, please pull that. Press release. If Chris would like to, afterwards, I'd have her, if there's something that she wants to add to that, but the MTA, our local union, as you can see, they put together a press release. It's really quite nice, indicates that they felt as though our mid-contract negotiations were fair and demonstrated good working relationships between labor and management, and they're prepared to send out a press release to that effect. NEASC membership, again, we'll have more in-depth discussion down the road, but I'm keeping you apprised of the fact that increasingly districts no longer participate in that. It is very expensive, and there are many other audits that we participate in, making NEASC redundant and again, expensive. Superintendent updates, you get these in an email every week. This will also always be there so the public can see those emails that I send to you weekly. After I do this abbreviation, we'll go back to the Valley Excavating for the vote. A CPA request, I know that CPA has encouraged us, emailed me and then Tara directly about submitting a CPA request, and we're thinking that this will be for mats for around the playground, so something that we could do in the future, so the CPA would have time to vote on that. I believe that we're looking to meet all deadlines for submitting to the CPA. And again, these are things I can work. Tara, I believe, is already working on the proposal. We can come back to the school committee. We'd want to meet the deadline. And then if there's something that we want to change, CPA is really good at working with us and being flexible, but we absolutely have to meet the deadline for the request. That first reading, you folks can read that because no, we don't vote until we return for a second reading of policy. So you'll have time to review the changes to the homeschooling policy. Not a lot to report on 4I. Just wanted you to know that I did attend the information session on the Green School Works grant program. That proposal is not quite yet live to my knowledge, but I'm tracking that. And when we're in a position, if we are eligible to and in a position to apply for that, I will keep the school committee apprised of that. And we will be skipping reports this evening. Does that cover everything, Humira? And then we can circle back to Valley Excavating, which requires a vote.
I think it does, unless there's any sort of time-sensitive questions from school committee members on anything that Annie just mentioned.
I guess my question is, do we want something in the news article? That was the only thing.
Right. Yeah. So
They want it out soon.
Right, Annie, so the plan is to address the Valley Excavating. I think that's the only thing here that requires a vote. Approve the payroll and expense warrants and cycle back to the article. Is that correct?
Yeah, would that work, Chris? And come back and see what the school committee wants to do with that on the MTA.
Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from anyone else about any of the other items?
I just have one question. When you brought it up, Annie, just going over the CPA request, the deadline is August 1st for the application. So I just wanted to get school committee blessing tonight, if we can, to keep moving forward and having the conversation and submit.
Terrific. We'll add that to the list as well. All right. Let's move first to the acceptance of the in-kind donation, time, equipment, and expertise from Valley Excavating for the playground project in the amount of $26,070. A very generous amount. Tara, can you take us through that?
Yes. So this is outside of what we had done for the playground and fundraising. The Phil family has so graciously offered to do any site prep work for the playground. So both playgrounds are gone, but there needs to be work done in preparation before the playgrounds can get placed. So Brandy and David had offered up a donation by Valley Excavating to do all that site prep work. And as we found along the way, it needs a little bit more prep work. Thank you, David, for looking into this to make sure that the playground is fully stable over the years and stays put. So what we asked him to do was put together the estimate that you have attached in your agenda here that gives the value of his donation for the work that would be done. This would mean that we would be purchasing the materials that would need to be used. So stone that needs to be prepared and any final wood chips that needs in preparation. We would be buying any materials, and Valley Excavating has donated their time, equipment, and resources to do all that prep work so that it's ready when the playground is ready to be built. So we're looking to get school committee approval of this so that David can go ahead and get that prepped starting as soon as he's able and ready for the playground.
Great. Thank you, Tara. Any questions for Tara or David and Brandy? Thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you for the donation. Any questions from committee members about this?
Yep, just thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no question.
Okay, great. So do I hear a motion to accept the donation from Valley Excavating in the amount of $26,070 for the time, equipment, and expertise needed for the playground project?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you again. Very
Thank-
generous.
Thank you. Very.
Really generous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really, I can't believe how quickly this playground project has come together, and it's from all the community effort. Brandy, thank you for all of your incredible hard work. Friends of Hadley Preschool, so many people, and Valley Excavating, Phil family, thank you.
Great.
Yep.
David has a question. Dave,
I was just going to mention, tentatively, we're looking at August 5th, I believe, as a start date to start getting rid of. There's about 30 inches of rotted wood chips that are in place now that we need to truck off and dispose of and bring in some gravel. So tentatively, the 5th is the start date. The one machine is already sitting there at the elementary school that you may have seen off to the side there, but that's the plan as of now. So Scott's been great with the DPW as far as helping. So
great. Thank you.
And
Sure.
David actually is also in contact. If I can just add this on, I've put David in contact with our playground manager. So that way, if anything comes up in between, he's both Doug, the playground manager, has offered to speak directly to David and vice versa. So that if something comes up while David's in the middle of it, he can simply just call up and get that squared away without it slowing down any of the process. So thank you again.
Terrific. Chris.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I think it's important to thank the DPW as well, who was incredibly helpful just getting all of that playground equipment taken down and hauled away. I mean, it was, as I said to the guys there, really, it was just such a testament to the cooperative nature of the town of Hadley departments that, quite honestly, you see in very few other towns. So just a sincere thank you from me, certainly, to the DPW, and just wanted to let you guys know how helpful they truly were.
That's really great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Huge thanks to the DPW as well. All right. We have voted and this is approved. So thank you everyone for that. Let's move to the next item. And let's see.
Do you want to take care of the votes quickly, and then we can go back to the MTA and CPA?
Yes,
Is that
that's
okay?
the approval of the school committee minutes, the payroll and the expense warrants. Is that correct?
Correct. That is
Right.
correct.
Let's start with the approval of the payroll. Do I hear a motion to approve the payroll for this last month? I believe it is.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, terrific. And do I hear a motion to approve the expense warrants?
So moved.
And do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to do this one together if that's all right. Do I hear a motion to approve the school committee minutes for May and June of 2024?
So moved.
Seconded.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I think we've gotten most of the business out of the way. Christine, we'd love to hear if you would like to. I believe there's a draft press release linked to our agenda. It looks pretty great. I'm in support of a school committee member adding a statement to that. I welcome your comments and thoughts about what kind of statement you'd like to add to that to, present the school committee perspective. And let's put it out to the team to get their feedback.
Okay. I just wanted to say something about how we recognize and value the hard work of our ESPs, and that we wanted to find a viable solution that shows that we greatly respect their work and dedication to our students.
Yeah, I like that.
Just something that, lets them know that we really wanted a solution, that
Right.
we really do respect them and value them. So just to say that, so that it's made known, that's all.
I like it. Thoughts from Ethan, Tara, or Paul?
I just was gonna say, I agree. I think it's great. I think anytime we can come together and have an agreement like this, that everybody feels pretty good about, I think. And again, ESPs are so valuable in our schools. So, yeah, I love it.
Great. Any other comments?
Let's say I think we're about to take off, so I'm gonna ring off pretty soon.
All right, Paul,
Have a
thank you
safe flight.
Be
for
safe.
joining in a bit.
Good luck,
Not
Danny.
at all
Thank you.
jealous. Not at all jealous. You enjoy.
Okay, you'll get home soon. See ya.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, I think you hear support, Christine. We'd love for that to be added to the press release. I think it's great thank you for checking in with the rest of the school committee and before speaking on behalf of all of us. Really appreciate it. And I think your words are just, perfectly capture the spirit of what our intentions were behind this. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I believe that is, CPA, Tara. There's a deadline coming up. The fact that they're interested in having us apply for those mats, just so great that they reached out. And I'd love to get everyone else's thoughts as well. But briefly, I'll just say that it makes a lot of sense to me to utilize funding that the town has already set aside for community preservation for projects like this. So you have my support in doing so. Ethan, Christine, would love your thoughts.
Before you hear
Yes.
thoughts,
Yes.
if you don't mind,
No,
I just want to clarify, we have ADA mats. This is part of the stipulation for putting in playground. It has to be ADA compliant. So we've already included in the current estimate a certain number of mats that go to a certain number of access points on all the playgrounds and the swings. So the discussion with CPA would be around changing out our surfacing to the poured rubber surfacing, which would be similar to like a Groff Park or the Jessica's Boundless Playground in Belchertown. So I've started gathering information from Premier Playground to get an idea of cost. We've had a little bit of back and forth, and I'm hoping to bring that information, if it's approved, to CPA, have a discussion with them about that so that they can have a more concrete idea of what that would cost us. It is pretty pricey to do. And then from there, I would like to be able to submit the application for the deadline. So that's what we're looking to do. And I'd like to have a conversation with them around once I actually have to do a little bit of number crunching myself tonight as well. Definitely would include the two big playgrounds. And then it's a question of, once I can talk with CPA about funding and kind of what they're thinking, whether it be either a portion, all or none of the swing area, but definitely for the two big playgrounds, and then potentially include either partial or full area of the swings, which will be in a completely separate playground. So that's where kind of the discussion would start, would be both the playgrounds, potentially the swing area, and it would be for that poured rubber surface.
Tara, quick question. Does this delay the project at all? Okay. Awesome.
No, so it can be installed afterwards. It's obviously best to get it done right when you're doing the entire project. But once we started figuring out the big kid playground was in quite disarray, that we couldn't wait for that. And it's pretty costly. It's almost equivalent to the cost of a brand new playground to get the surfacing done. So I did clarify that right away in the beginning that we could make this a two-part, so we can utilize the wood chips now. And then later, obviously, it's going to be more time and a little bit more costly, but still being able to get the poured concrete in later is better than never.
Thank you. Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm for it.
Okay, any other questions or comments about this? Kara, this is a great opportunity. I think that rubber matting is so much safer and so much more pleasant for young people and the older people alike. So thank you so much for taking the initiative to apply. I hope it gets approved. And if you need any a pair of eyes to look at the proposal, feel free to ping me or anyone else on the team.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Annie, does that cover us for most of the time-sensitive things?
That does. I'm not missing anything, Christy. Am I? I think we're good on everything.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, okay. So we will bring these items for more deliberation at, we have in August, our retreat scheduled. I'm assuming we will not have a regular school committee the Monday before since the retreat is Tuesday. So we would just replace it at that meeting.
Great.
Okay.
So yes, that's right. So the next meeting date would be August 27th at 5 p.m.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate your flexibility and yes. Go ahead.
I was just saying, okay, thank you. Whoops. Oh, sorry, Chris.
I just want to make sure that we're okay. I don't remember if there was a vote taken or not on the capital plan, but we're okay with those items that were listed for this year?
We are okay. I think Annie said that everything was in the downward direction,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
I'm enthusiastically in support of a capital plan that costs less. I think substantively, we are not taking projects off the table, but we're moving things around. And so that sounds great. Annie, do you want to
Chris?
recap briefly?
Yeah, so Chris, I intentionally didn't have him vote it because we might make some minor adjustments, but it wouldn't
Okay.
exceed, it would only go down.
Mhm.
Again, the big changes are moving those acoustic tiles, row 42 on the capital plan to FY 27. We did add carpeting at HES. We have distributed tech replacement costs over 3 years rather than 2. We've reduced the number of replacement Chromebooks that we would purchase annually downward from 100 to 60. We don't need 100 a year. Also, one thing that may go down is because, which was in your update, we did get the Hadley Police asked us to apply for a weapons detection grant. We were selected for that. And we're hoping that we can actually buy some of those 14 cameras with funding that we'll get from that grant. We'll know more in August.
Great.
We will do, and then what is submitted by August 6th, I think is when everything is due for STM. What we submit be at the retreat. The school committee would still have time to say on second thought, pull that. We don't want the town to ask that to be on the warrant, and we just have to make sure we get it in front of them so they can start planning.
Great. Chris, does that sound good?
It does, yeah. My apologies for interrupting right at the very end. I really just wanted to make sure we were good to go.
Not at all. Not at all. Better safe than sorry. Thank you. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you at our next meeting and have a great rest of your July and see you in August.
All right, thank you.
Get home
everybody.
safe.
Hey, good luck getting home.
Yeah, I see airplanes everywhere. I was convinced David was in an airplane. I don't think he is, but I just see them everywhere. I just want to be on one so badly. I just see them everywhere. All right, friends, thank you for understanding.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Bye.
All right, terrific. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Have a good night.
Good night.